Danielle and I have another layout here. I'm going to be working with the Felicity Jane You and Me kit today. It just came to me yesterday and I was so excited to start working with it. I start out my layout by stitching around my paper. I just did about 3 messy lines with my sewing machine. And then I start adding the elements to this. Now this white piece of cardstock that I'm adding now, it didn't come in the kit, and either did that white paper that looks like a banner. That is some white cardstock that's texturized and it's shimmery. I don't know that you can really tell that on the video, but in person, it's super obvious that that has a little bit of a shimmer to it. And this is a photo of mine and my husband's New Year's Eve kiss. And so I thought it was kind of fun to add a little bit of fancy to the page. We're not necessarily fancy people, and I don't know if you can, I mean, it's pretty obvious by our clothes that we weren't necessarily at a fancy party, but it was, I guess, a fancy event. It was New Year's Eve. And so I thought it was fun to add some touches of, you know, that white shimmer paper, the gold, the doily, all of those things I think are kind of special elements. So now that multicolored stripe paper that I added to the photo, that came on the sheet of paper that has the 3x4 and 4x6 cards, and I really liked it. And I only had, you know, just a 3x4 cards worth of that. So I just cut it into 3 different strips so that I can kind of scatter that throughout my photo. That black and white polka dot tag came from the cut apart sheet, and I actually used a lot of elements from that cut apart sheet on this layout. Now once I get kind of those elements on my photo layered and basically how I like it, I start working on this banner cluster in the upper left hand corner. So I just take that multicolored paper and the white paper, I cut those into banners myself, and then these arrows or chevron, or I don't know what you really want to call it, but those came from the cut apart sheet. And I just layer those on top of each other, and then I'm going to get the excess that hangs over cut off. And then I'm going to take that gold Wonky Scallop and layer that on top of it, or adhere it to the top of that. Kind of just groups all of those together really nicely, finishes it off up there. Now that Wonky Scallop was actually long. I'm showing you here. I cut it in half. I mostly did that because I wanted to add that element to another spot on my layout. So I'm just using it as one of the layers behind my photo. This green strip that I'm adding says "So Happy Together." That came from the cut apart sheet. And then I'm going to take that flare, it says "You and Me," and I'm going to use some of these glue dots to get that put on my, to get put on my layout. I just didn't think that that tape runner was going to cut it when it came to that flare. All right, so now I'm taking these gold hearts and I'm just getting those down on my page. So now I have kind of 3 spots that have that gold element to it, which I think kind of just ties everything together. Now the doily and the gold elements in this kit and some other things, they were in the kit, but they weren't necessarily advertised. It was a surprise when we got our kit that those were in there. I don't know if it was like for Valentine's Day or a thank you, but either way, it was a nice surprise, and I think they're really cute, and I think they add a nice touch to this layout, so I'm glad we got them. All right, so then the last thing that I add to this layout are these 2 little phrases. One says "Kiss Me" and one says "XOXO," and I cut these from the branding strips on the bottom of the couple of the papers. And then that label also came in the cut apart sheet, and I'm adding that just to add another element of black to this layout. So the only black that was really on there before was from that black and white polka dot tag. So I wanted to bring some more black into this layout. So then I pull out this pink scalloped trim, and I think that maybe I'm going to use it, but I quickly see it's just not going to work. So the only other thing I need to get on my layout is the journaling. And I think this photo is kind of self-explanatory. I do feel that I need to get something about New Year's Eve on there, and that it's not just some weird random selfie of me and my husband kissing. So I'm just thinking about what options I have as to where I can put my journaling. I finally decided that here in the lower left-hand corner is the best spot, but I want it to just to be really, just really slender. So I just write one word on each line and I keep it nice and short. I just say New Year's Eve kiss with my love, welcome 2015. And then I draw a cute little arrow pointing up to my photo just to, I think that in my mind, all of those corners from all of those layers look a little jagged, you know, going down to the left. And I think that adding that arrow kind of just ties everything in. So, but that is pretty much my layout. So thanks so much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you all real soon. All right, see you later, guys.